Monday morning MMA report. I'm your host, DJ Aries the God, and this is a podcast presented to you by Official MMA Press. Now, I hope everybody had a good weekend. It was Super Bowl weekend. It was a boring Super Bowl. I thought the halftime show was pretty good, but a lot of people thought the halftime show was trash. I mean, it was good. It was cool. I didn't think that Kendrick Lamar was going to do the Not Like Us track, but he did it. And I think Drake, as well as Patrick Mahomes, took the biggest loss. Both of them. Actually, leave in the comments who you think took the biggest loss, Drake or Patrick Mahomes? Because Patrick Mahomes played like ass yesterday. Garbage. I wasted about $100 because I thought the Chiefs were going to win. I thought they were going to do a Patriots comeback. And whenever I seen that the odds were going up, I just kept betting on them. And I'm like, these motherfuckers. But this is not a football podcast. This is an MMA podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about Fight Night 28, LFA 201, and of course, UFC 312. So I'm actually going to start with Fight Night 28 because I was actually working on Friday and I actually only caught the last 4 fights. So I took notes on every fight that I watched this weekend. So I'm going to be reading off from my notes because it's impossible to remember every fight off the top of my head without looking at my notes. So first on the docket is going to be Fight Night 28, which was pretty good. I actually just started watching One Fighting Championship recently, as well as the bare knuckle boxing, but I didn't watch that this weekend. I couldn't watch it. I had to subscribe to Triller. I had to subscribe to Triller to watch the fights, and I have so many subscriptions. I was not gonna get another subscription, so I did not watch the bare knuckle fighting. When I checked the card, a lot of those guys had like 0-0 records, so I'm guessing it was a lot of newcomers. Like I said, I'm new to that too, so I do like them, but we'll see if it causes me to get another subscription. But I do have Amazon Prime, so I did watch One Fighting Championship, and it was Fight Night 28. So I'm going to start with the first fight that I tuned into, which was Hiroki Tetsuka versus Zhang Liepeg, and this was a quick fight. This was super quick. Liepeg dropped Tetsuka with a left-handed jab and finished it with the ground and pound, which this is crazy because this is the first time I seen Liepeg fight, and this is 27 total finishes, and 22 of them came in the first round for him. So he just must be a beast, super beast. 22 finishes in the first round, and that's how this one ended too. So that was the first fight I seen when I came home, and that one just sucked me right in to the rest of the card, which was the next fight was a Muay Thai fight, which was Kong Thorani versus Nong O. I mean, this is just Muay Thai, straight up Muay Thai, because in One Championship, they have different types of fights. It's not just MMA. They got like Muay Thai, submission, grappling, like all different stuff. So this is just a Muay Thai fight. Thorani versus Nong O. And this was a good fight between the both of them. Both fighters, it was high intensity from both fighters from the beginning to the end. I had no idea who was winning this fight. It seemed like a tie going into the third round because there was a lot of back and forth. But the third round, you could tell that Nong O was just running out of gas. He was just running out of gas. He was older. I think he was 38 years old. I think he was 10 years older than Kong Thorani. And Kong Thorani just took over the third round, and he ended up winning by split decision. It was actually a really, really good fight. If you enjoy striking, good striking, Muay Thai, this was actually a really good fight to go back and watch. So, yep, Kong Thorani, he won that one. And actually, I skipped a fight. I actually watched 4 fights. The Tetsuka fight was the second fight that I watched. The first fight that I watched was flyweight Muay Thai. And this was Sean Clemenco versus Diego Paez. And this was a good stand-up. There's another one. Muay Thai, you're going to get a lot, good stand-up, obviously. There's no grappling. There's clinching, but there's no grappling. But this was a good stand-up. Paez dropped Clemenco in the third round, but it looked like it on the replay, but it was just a slip and fall. It didn't count, but Clemenco, he won that one. He won that one handsomely, you know what I mean? And that brings us to our championship fight, our main event, which was Prajanchai versus Barbosa. And this was a really good fight. Barbosa got beat up. He got beat up bad. But dude got a lot of heart. He got a great chin. He was sitting in there, and Prajanchai, he actually, this was a strawweight Muay Thai world championship fight, and if I didn't say that. But Prajanchai split him, I think, in the fourth round. He caught him with a elbow or something that split him, and he started pointing at him, and he knew the fight was over right there because the medical doctor came in and said that the cut was too bad for him to fight. So it was a TKO by doctor's decision, and it was bad. But that was a banger of a fight. Super, super banger. I encourage anyone listening to go back and watch this fight because it's really, really good. Really, really good, and I definitely recommend it. I'm definitely going to be tuning into One Fight Night as much as I can, although it happens on a Friday, and I work on Friday, so, And I'm kind of breezing through this because I only seen 4 fights, and I'm really anxious to get to the UFC 312 because this was a big. It was a great event, honestly. So I'm gonna stop right there because the next topic I'm getting into is actually LFA 201, which was pretty good. I want to talk about LFA first because since that's like the G League to the UFC, I feel it's only right to talk about the up-and-comers first, and then we could get into the UFC because, that's where everyone's striving to go. They're trying to get to the UFC. So next up on the docket is LFA 201, which was between Rafael Pereira and Janderson Barato. And this fight was ended up being real good. It started with Pereira showing off, throwing a bunch of haymakers. He was really trying to knock out Barato, and it looked like he straight up exhausted himself. He was showboating. He was doing a lot of stuff, but Janderson Barato, he stood in there, and he actually made it into a real good fight. I didn't think it was going to be as good of a fight as it was, but it was actually ended up being real good. And Barato got a lot of heart, but Pereira ends up winning by decision. But like I said, it ended up being a real good fight. So next up on the card was a heavyweight fight between Vieira versus Danico. Danico was in control of the fight from the beginning. From the start of the fight, he was in control. He landed a ton of shots in the first round. He outstruck Vieira 44-17 in the first round. Straight up domination. Vieira got cut pretty bad in the second round. It looked like he wanted to stop fighting, but I kind of felt bad for him. By the third round, the announcers were asking if Vieira's corner was going to throw in the towel. That's how bad it got. But he stood in there. He got a lot of respect from the crowd. I think he was the hometown favorite. It was he's from Brazil, I don't know if he was from Sao Paulo. He might have been, because there was a lot of fighters there from Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. There's also a bunch of fighters that were from Russia that were there too. And Denico, he was I think he was a Russian fighter, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he looked good in there. The next fight was Enrique Lea versus Kanuikov. Now, this was, I guess, one of the announcers was saying that he was thinking this was going to be the fight of the night on the card. Enrique Lea, he's actually a deaf fighter. And Kanuikov, I guess the fight ended up being a no contest because of an illegal choke by Kanuikov. I'd never seen that before, so I don't really know what was going on. It looked like Enrique was really hurt on the ground for a while. So, I mean, I didn't really see what happened. They said it was an illegal choke, but that ended up being a no contest. Like I said, I've never seen that, but I definitely would want to see them fight again. It looked like Kanuikov, I think he's a Russian fighter as well. It looked like he was going to win. Like the way that, I mean, it was right in the first round, so you don't know, but just the way it was going, I mean, who knows? He could have ran out of gas. Anything could have happened. But it looked like he was dominating that first round. So next up is a featherweight bout, which was Delano versus Alikanov. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Delano, he looked real good. He was real accurate on the feet, great footwork. It ended up being a first round knockout, and it looks like he might be ready for the next level. He said that he either wants a title fight, or he in the LFA, of course, or he wants a shot at Dana White's Contender Series. I definitely would like to see him on the Contender Series, but let him fight for his belt. Let him fight for the belt and see. But he looks like he's at another level. Like, he shouldn't be fighting with these guys. He looks definitely like he's on another level. So his name is Jose, or I think it might be Jose Delano. So I'm actually gonna follow him on social media and see what he does, because he looked really, really sharp, really, really good. I want to see him grow. I want to see what he ends up doing. I think he's going to be in the UFC, so definitely going to keep an eye on that fighter right there. The next fight was Marcus Daugley versus Lincoln Santos, and this was a good fight. Round one was super even. It was super even. I didn't know how to call it. Early in the second round, Daugley caught Santos with a powerful left hook that he was able to step into and just end the fight with a KO. It was a beautiful performance. Daugley wins his 10th fight in a row, and what a beautiful way to win the featherweight interim title. Like, it was just perfect. If I'm part of his camp, that's a perfect way to win. It was beautiful knockout. It was great. This card was really, really good. This fight and the main event, which I'm going to get into right now, which was Canseco versus Silva. This was a crazy, crazy fight. This was a super dope fight. If you didn't watch it, rewatch it. If you're not subscribed to the UFC Fight Pass, get it, because you could definitely rewatch the fights there. This was a beautiful, beautiful fight. Round one, it was super close, but I think Silva got round one. Round two, it looked like Canseco got it, but Silva was looking more confident as the fight went on. Silva was she's only 23 years old. She's an up and comer. I think this was only like her 5th MMA fight. And Canseco was the champion. But after the second round, Canseco got it, but it looked like Silva was getting way more confident as the fight went on. Silva got the third round. She landed real nice combos. She actually got a takedown, which is, I'm surprised, because Canseco was a wrestler. She's supposed to be the better wrestler, but Silva got a takedown, even though she's supposed to, she's a Muay Thai fighter. She just looked real well-rounded. By the fourth, Silva was looking like she's taking over. Like, she's just killing the body with powerful leg kicks. She's just Like it was she was just picking her apart. I started feeling those leg kicks every time she the body kicks. Every time she went to the body, I'm like, oh man, like you could just tell. The fifth round, it was a monstrous round. Silva ends it with the head kick and lays out Conceição. What a way to get the belt from the champion and only your fifth MMA fight. To win like that is crazy. I was not expecting it. I jumped out of my seat when I seen that head kick. It was beautiful. And I just want to give her congratulations. I want to give her a round of applause. If you didn't watch it, go see it. And I also want to give a round of applause to Degley, which I forgot to do, but his knockout is beautiful as well. So let's do that. And like I said, if you go back to watch LFA 201, if you just want to see two beautiful knockouts, just watch the two last fights of this main card right here. It's crazy. I guarantee you, if you're an MMA fan, you will not regret it. So now that I got through LFA 201, it's time for my last topic, which is UFC 312. And I got a lot to say about UFC 312. I got a lot from the early prelims to the prelims to the main card. I seen the whole thing from beginning to end, and it did not disappoint. In fact, this was the opposite of what the Super Bowl was. This was total excitement all the way through. Total competitiveness from beginning to end. So I'm going to start with the early prelims. I feel like the early prelims had the best fights. And, well, I don't want to say that, but they did set the bar high, though, for the rest of the event. Like, they set the bar. They set the stage. Like, this first fight in the early prelims was Quinlan Salkild versus Anshu Jubli. It was a lightweight fight. And literally, the fight started, and all you heard was... and the fight was over early. Salkild knocked him out. Literally, he hit him like 3 times, and that was it. It was a done deal. I was like, what the fuck? Crazy. And on the replay, it looked controversial, the stoppage. But when you watch it live, it looked exactly how it looked. Like, it just... Jubilee got rocked. So... yep, right there. Fight number 1 in the early prelims. The next fight was McKeff versus Josette. And Josette, round 1, got dropped with a head kick. But he got some respect, you know, like he caught him with a nice clean shot when he got up with a right cross to the chin. But I think all in all, I think Josette just respected McAuliffe's power too much, and that's what costed him the fight. It was a good fight, but I think he just, you know, I think he was just a little reserved, and instead of, I think that the power made him, the power of those leg kicks, they made him just second guess himself the whole fight. So it ended up being a real good fight. But fight number 3 of the early prelims was Rong Zhu versus Cody Steele. And I watched Cody Steele on the Dana White Contender Series, and he won. The fight I watched, he won. He seemed pretty good. So this honestly, I think this is a contender for the fight of the night, of the whole 312. This was probably the best fight, in my opinion. Top two. But these guys were fucking banging out. Fucking Cody Steele was getting his ass whooped. You could tell that Rong Zhu was definitely the more experienced guy. I feel like Cody Steele learned a real good lesson on what he needs to do to improve. You know, now he's in the big leagues, you know what I mean? but that boy got a chin on him, and he got heart. And they did the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje stand in the middle at the end of the fight and just swing on each other, and that was just crazy. That was just crazy. That fight was giving me like anxiety. I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is the third fight in the early prelims. Like, if I had a fight on that card later on, or like if I'm watching that as a fighter, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? These dudes are putting on a fucking show right now. So that was crazy. That was crazy. Definitely congratulations to those guys. I want to see them both fight again. They're super exciting to watch, but they both definitely got to work on their defense because they're just going in there slugging, swinging. And it looked like they wasn't really worried about getting hit. And if they fight somebody that got that knockout power, they're going to get knocked the fuck out. So definitely I want to see these guys in the future. I want to see how they improve. And yeah, definitely. I think, honestly, for me, they got the fight of the night for me. Like, they definitely should have won some bonus money for that performance, for sure. So then next up, we got the prelims, which was the first fight was that I got right here. It was Cody Thickness and Alexandre Topuria, which is Ilya Topuria's brother. And it was an okay fight. I feel like Topuria, he had a nice suplex in round one. Towards the end of the round, he did a super suplex, like a WWE type suplex. And other than that, Thickness, he came back. I think halfway towards the second, he was picking up steam. He lost by decision, but he took the fight on a last minute notice, so he performed really well. Alexandre Topuria, I think they're comparing him a lot to his brother, and I think he got a lot to prove. I mean, he looked pretty decent in there, but everybody's getting ahead of themselves saying, oh, yeah, he's the next big thing. I don't – who knows? I just don't see it yet. But, that's what development's all about. The next fight was Wang this is a women's flyweight. It was Wang versus Brazil, and Wang just controlled the whole fight. Not much to say there. I had Wang on winning. She was part of a 3-pick parlay that I did win. It was her. The next fight I had Nolan. He was the second fight on the parlay, and it was Nolan versus Borshevs. And I won my parlay with this one because I thought Nolan was going to finish it in the first round, but I think I needed this one to go over a round and a half. And it ended up going to decision. Nolan ended up winning, and I won my parlay with that one. The next fight, this was the final fight on the prelims, which was Jenkins versus Santos. And I had Santos. This is another parlay I had Santos, but I was scared because Santos, he got rocked with the leg kick, I believe, with a head kick, and he ended up getting his composure, and he ended up coming back and finishing the fight with the rear naked choke in the third round, which was pretty good. But yeah, he almost lost. That was the first pick of my second parlay, and he had me scared, I ain't gonna lie, but I definitely did win that one. So without further ado, we're gonna get to the main card, which was the first fight was Matthews versus Prado, welterweight. And I had Matthews on my parlay. In round one, he's looking sharp, very dominant on the feet. Prado looks outmatched. So, by the second round, Prado starts making it a fight, but Matthews still dominated. And I ended up winning that one with Matthews. So I had one more fight, and it was who'd I have? Oh, it is the fight after this one. But the next fight was Crude versus Bellato. Crude versus Bellato, light heavyweight. And this one ended in a draw. It was a pretty good fight, but it ended in a draw. That's all I got on my notes for that one. The next fight was Tafa versus Teixeira, heavyweight. And as soon as the fight started for this one, because Teixeira, he's from LFA. This is his first fight in the UFC. And he said, watch, when this fight, he's like, he basically did what he said was going to happen, and he ended the fight in like probably like 10 seconds. The fight was fucking over. This dude is a 6'7" heavyweight, and he's athletic. So he's going to be a problem. He's going to be definitely a problem in that division. So, yep. Oh, yeah. So the Teixeira, he was the one that won me my second parlay. Next, we got the Wei Lee versus Suarez fight. And I had Wei Lee, just a straight up bet. And I won. I mean, she was the underdog. I didn't. When Merab was the underdog, I ended up going with Nurmagomedov, and I messed up. I said, I'm never going to do that again. If the champion is the underdog, I'm going to put my money on the champion. And sure enough, that strategy did not fail me because Wei Lee won, and she dominated basically the whole fight. Suarez's knee was cut pretty bad. Like, it was ugly. She didn't even want to look at it. She was asking her corner, how bad is it? How bad is it? So, that affects her mental in the fight. But, yeah, I picked Wei Lee. I won, and that was a really good decision on my part. I had a really good night betting and 312. So, I know I didn't I said I was going to make some content with my picks, and I wish I did because if anybody would have told me, they would have made some money, but I wasn't able to. But I had a really good night. I think I probably made like 8 bets, and I lost 2 of them. I won 6 out of 8. Those really good odds right there. I made a lot of money. And then we go to our championship main event fight, which was DDP, Dracus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland at middleweight. And it's not really much to say. Sean Strickland got beat up. I mean, he was basically doing what he did in the first fight, but it looked like he got his nose broken. Du Plessis, he was just beating him up. He was just beating him up the whole fight, and Sean Strickland looked kind of hesitant. He wasn't so sure of himself. I mean, it wasn't a bad fight. I think Sean Strickland could have did a lot better, but I mean, it happened the way it happened, I think that was one of the bets that I lost because I picked Sean Strickland. I thought he would be a little more aggressive. I don't know. Maybe he got hurt during training camp or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, Dracus du Plessis is still the champion in the middleweight division. That was, another title defense by him. So that's pretty good. But other than that, I mean, not much to say about the card. Like I said, the fight of the night for me was in the early prelims. And the Wei Lee Suarez fight. Those two were the best fights, in my opinion, of 312. I would definitely, and then the knockout of the night, I would probably give to, what's this, in the early prelims, just for starting the event like that. Quinlan Sakil, I would give him the fight, the knockout of the night, because that was just crazy. He should definitely get the bonus for that. But other than that, that pretty much wraps up this show. I'm gonna drop a podcast on Wednesday, and it's just gonna be, 6.5. It's just gonna be my picks for the next UFC event, and I think I'm watching this promotion called Rough and Tough or something like that. I'll give maybe I'll give my picks for that too. Not too familiar with those fighters over there, but I'll definitely give my picks for UFC Fight Night 251, which is Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez card. And yeah, we'll see if anybody wants to follow me or tail me or whatever, or anybody got some advice for me to make some money, because that's what it's all about. Let's get this money. But I'm your host. I'm your boy, DJ Aries the God. This is the Monday Morning MMA Report, and this is presented to you by Official MMA Press. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the social medias, the link trees in the description, and I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.